Hey folks, I've gotten a lot of messages from people asking, am I okay? Am I still doing the channel? Am I live? So first and foremost, hello, good to see everyone again. I'll talk a bit about the future of the channel towards the end of this video. But first I wanted to share something cool I have been working on. It's called Cocktail GPT. And it's something I actually built for myself to help design new cocktails and understand what I can make with the ingredients I have. And figured I would share it with you guys today as well and walk you through it. And we'll probably make a cocktail that it comes up for us as well and see if it's any good.
What I'm showing you here is sort of the editor that I used to create it. And what Cocktail GPT basically is ChatGPT's standard model, GPT-4, with some custom training built on top of it. And you can tune it to do certain actions and take on certain personalities, etc. So what I've done in the configuration of this is given it a bit of a personality. Channel Anthony Bourdain, who offers here expert cocktail advice, just to see if it'll actually take on his personality. And it's going to be then sourcing this classic cocktail recipes spreadsheet that I have uploaded that is hundreds of curated cocktail recipes that I know are excellent. And we'll use that as part of the training, as part of the data knowledge source that it will use to source classic cocktails for you. And then there's some conversation starters I added in as well. It's also going to be creating an image of the cocktail using DALL-E, which is its image generation tool. All right, let's jump over to Cocktail GPT and see a couple of the use cases here. Let's try one of the pre-populated ones I entered in. How do I make a French 75? So what you can see it's doing here is analyzing my spreadsheet that you saw before, and it's looking just literally for the cocktail name of French 75, and hey, it found it, and it's now going to spit that out. So you can see it is listing out the ingredients here, as well as the instructions, and now it's going to create that image using DALL-E. And there you go. They still struggle to get some of the spelling right in some of this, and look, they're trying to put the the actual recipe on the glass. Interesting. But you can have some fun with this. You can ask it, make this even more French, and then you get this. Even more French. Even more French. Make it so French that it would be offended and protest itself. This is the ultimate form of the French 75 with a baguette as a garnish in the cocktail. Okay, we can search for a classic cocktail, but how smart is this tool? So let's get in the holiday spirit and see if it can make a brand new cocktail that I've never had before. So I'm asking it, hey, I want a cocktail that's like an espresso martini meets eggnog meets hot cocoa. And make it with rum, and I don't want anything pre-made, like any pre-made eggnog. Okay, here's what it spit out. Created a cocktail called The Cozy Evening. 2 ounces dark rum, ounce of espresso, heavy cream, whole milk, cocoa powder, egg yolk, sugar, grated nutmeg, and cinnamon. Okay, that sounds pretty good actually, and looks like it might work. So it wants us to mix the cocoa powder with hot water, make a paste, shake it up, add ice, strain it, garnish with nutmeg. And we got a little image. Okay, looks pretty tasty. Let's try it out.
All right, let's see if this drink is any good. It calls for 2 ounces of dark rum. We're just gonna use aged Flor de Caña here. 2 ounces in the glass. All right, here I have 1 ounce of freshly pulled espresso. Drop it in the rum. Then a tablespoon of cocoa powder. Make sure it's unsweetened. Got some Dutch processed stuff here. Drop that in. Now I know the recipe says to mix this with water, the cocoa powder with water into like a smooth paste before dropping it in. Because we're gonna shake it without ice, I'm kind of hoping it all mixes together without having to do that step. So let's see how it goes. And then we're gonna add another tablespoon of just white sugar here. Let's see how this is gonna mix up here. Let's get that going. Okay, already that smells amazing. All right, now let's get into the nog ingredients here. Start with 1 egg yolk. Separate out the egg white. Then we're gonna do 1 ounce or 30 mils of whole milk and 1 ounce of heavy cream. All right, I gotta say I'm feeling fairly good about this so far, pretty optimistic. Nothing about the recipe seems wildly weird. kind of feels like what I would come up with if I were to design this kind of hybrid cocktail. The sweetness seems about right. 1 tablespoon of sugar to 1 tablespoon of cocoa is pretty standard. So now we're gonna dry shake it up. Hopefully it all gets incorporated and there's not any clumps. And then we'll shake it with ice and try it out. 4 ice cubes, shake it up. Okay, that's looking like a whole milkshake in there. Let's go ahead and double strain. I got an extra large coupe here, just in case. Yeah, we're gonna need it. Now for those nog spices, we definitely need some nutmeg. Let's get it right on top, just like in the photo. Now we'll call for a bit of cinnamon. Let's do a little dusting on top. There we have it. Eggnog meets hot cocoa meets espresso martini. Okay, let's compare it to the photo it generated. It's definitely a little bit lighter, more sort of like a milk chocolatey color versus like a dark espresso color, which makes sense because it had cream and a lot of milk in it. So the picture was like a little bit off, I would say, from what it really looks like. But everything else looks great. I mean, it smells amazing. Let's give it a taste. Oh, I'm not kidding. This is excellent. Oh, it all comes through. The dark aged rum. Oh man, but you get hit with that chocolate right away, but the espresso like almost amplifies it. It's fairly sweet, but it's actually not too sweet. A tablespoon of sugar is about the equivalent of like 3/4 of an ounce of 1-to-1 simple, so it's fairly standard for a typical cocktail. Oof. I would probably do more nutmeg, probably get some nutmeg in the cocktail and shake it up. It doesn't quite get as much nog. I'm getting a bit more espresso, a bit more cocoa. I'd nog it up a bit. Maybe even play with a whole egg to get a little bit more body to it. But I mean, honestly, with the cream, doesn't really need it. It is super, super thick. It's excellent. I mean, it's a treat, let's be honest. This is a holiday treat. But I would say for AI, just winging it, nailed it.
One of the cool things about Cocktail GPT is that it is multimodal, which is just fancy AI speak for it understands things beyond text, like images, and it can analyze those. So I've uploaded an image of my liquor stash right here, and let's see if it can analyze this and give me some ideas for cocktail recipes. So I'll tell it, hey, this is what I have in my liquor cabinet. I've also got lemon juice and simple syrup. Give me 3 cocktail recipes using these ingredients. All right, let's see what it's doing. Starting by opening up my classic cocktail recipe database and analyzing that. Okay, so here's what it came back with. First was looks like a riff on the Bijou cocktail. It gives me the standard spec for the Bijou, but says, hey, you don't have sweet vermouth, so if you don't have that, swap with Cointreau. Okay, that could be interesting to try. Dash of orange bitters. Chartreuse smash. 2 ounces of chartreuse. So I have yellow, not green. Mess that up. 1 ounce of lemon juice. 0.75 of simple. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that could be good. I like that they added more lemon than simple here because green chartreuse is going to add some sweetness. So this could help balance it out. It might still be a bit on the sweet side, and that's going to be a pretty boozy cocktail with 2 ounces of green chartreuse. And then the Campari sour. 2 ounces Campari, 1 ounce lemon, 0.75 is simple. That's interesting. Yeah, that'd be worth trying out. Might be a little on the sweet side, but depends on how you like it. So these are some fun ideas based on ingredients I have. Here's an image of the Bijou cocktail with green chartreuse. That looks pretty wild. So this is like a fun way to spark some ideas for creating new cocktails. One thing to note that's kind of annoying right now is that if you want to use any of these custom GPTs, like Cocktail GPT, you need to have a ChatGPT Plus subscription from OpenAI. I don't see any money from this at all right now, so this is just for you to use the underlying infrastructure to do these queries. But right now, you do need a ChatGPT Plus license to actually try this out.
All right, so as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'll talk a bit about what's going on with the channel, what's going on with me, and why I haven't been putting out as much content recently. The short answer is this has always been a hobby for me. I have a separate full-time job that takes a lot of time, and now I have 2 kids that also take a lot of time. And I want to make sure that all the stuff I'm putting out on the channel is stuff that I just find really interesting and fun that I can share with you. I find some of the best ways to learn something new is to teach others, and that's always how I've approached this channel. I'd say for a while, maybe about a year and a half ago, I was on a bit of a content treadmill, doing a lot of sponsorships, putting out a lot of content, kind of got burnt out and started to feel more like a job and less like the fun hobby that it started as. And then I wrote a book, which was a ton of work and one of the best experiences of my life. And when that published last year, it just felt like a good time to take a break. And now that I've had a good amount of time to assess what I want to do, it's become clear to me that the channel's never really going to hit the same level of cadence that it had before, putting out a video every week, every other week. So you're going to see fewer videos coming out from me, but it's usually going to be things that I'm just really interested in if they do come out. I still read every comment that comes in. I'm a little more active, I'd say, on Instagram, posting and checking stuff than on YouTube these days, so you can find me over there. But I'm still around and would love to keep putting out content when I get the inspiration. So go check out Cocktail GPT. Let me know what you think. If you have any feedback on it or ideas for new use cases, that's kind of what I'm focused on right now. And I'll continue to make some videos that sort of relate to some of the cool ideas that come out of that. So thanks for sticking with me, y'all, and hopefully see you soon.